This is KFM 94.5. Tracey Lange with you on a beautiful Wednesday morning. Because quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, when you're in Cape Town, it doesn't matter what the weather's like. It's just always a beautiful day. Now, what's lovely to me is that the people in Cape Town make Cape Town amazing. And one of them I have in studio with me right now. Her name is Sue van der Linde, CEO and the founder of Iris House Children's Hospice. Sue, welcome to KFM. So good to have you here knitting with me.
Trying my best, Tracy. Trying my best. All thumbs, but getting there.
But you've already said after your first 2 stitches, you said this is?
This is fun. I'm doing this. I'm getting into this.
I like the sound of that. Let's speak about Iris House. You started this in 2011.
That's right, yeah. I came back from the UK where I'd worked for Children's Hospice. I'm actually from a corporate background, so completely different to what I've done in my past. And initially just wanted to join another MPO and add what I'd learned there for 10 years, but couldn't find anything like the Julia's House, which is where I studied in the UK. And then started Iris House because, that was the options. Don't do anything or do something. And we opted for the second. So 11 years on, here we are, still here and growing.
Oh, still growing. But I mean, that is amazing. Either do nothing or do something. And if you can't find a place where you can jump in, let's just start a way to do this.
Absolutely.
But that, I'm sure, was not an easy process.
It wasn't. I think a lot of people thought I'd lost my mind completely, but not quite. As I say, we're still here, still growing. I started with 12 children, very, very small, from my home. We didn't have the building. I only did respite care in the community, which is still very much a mainstay of what Iris House does. That's how we reach so many children. But as I'm sitting here knitting away, we have 635 registered children. So I think you can see how the pattern has really grown.
Yes.
And continues to.
Over 600 children, that is insane. That means it's not just one house.
No. Our community-based care is our mainstay. That's what allows us to reach so many children. So our mainstay of care is respite care. In other words, we go into a family, we go out of a family. We're basically that bolt-on service that when a family needs us, we're there. So I've got wonderful carers. I've got quite a large team of carers who work in the areas that they live. So someone living in Khayelitsha would do their care work in Khayelitsha, so they're afraid with the area, they're afraid with the people. And basically my team member comes in, our carers come in, and they take over from the mom. So mom gets that respite care that she really needs, because bringing up a special needs child is a 24-hour-a-day job. And our carers come in for 6 hours. Mom can go shopping, mom can go to sleep, mom can go out for lunch, mom can do whatever mom wants to do. All our carers are fully trained, they're all police cleared, they've all got first aid certificates, level 1 and level 3. And they are very qualified to work with the children that we have. And mom comes home feeling refreshed and able to cope again. And then on top of that, we bring children into our hospice building as well, which is where we have our 2 equine therapy horses, my babies, Diva and Voltago. We also got a couple of sheep who are therapy sheep.
Yeah?
Wool sheep.
Yes.
Quite a few chickens, some rabbits, and a beautiful Labrador retriever who is Alfred. He is our therapy dog. We have a nurse, we have OTs, we have social workers. So that's our base. That's in Stickland in Belleville. And we bring as many children in as many times a week as possible. And then our far-flung areas like Help Bay, like Vredenburg and Saldanha, we're down there once a quarter, and we spend a few days with our families making sure everybody's okay.
Sure, but I mean, that must take a lot of logistical planning and so many other things that go with that. How many people do you have working?
We've got 15 permanent staff and 38 part-time. Those are my care team members who are incredible, absolutely incredible. We even have, and I'm very proud of it, 2 of my leads who run their own areas. Oh my gosh, I finished that whole thing. Hang on. Swapping over. They're actually moms of special needs children themselves.
Yeah.
And then 6 of my carers are also moms of special needs children.
Wow.
And which is fabulous because it gives them a new lease on life, a new standing in life, which they didn't have before.
Yes.
So they start to hold their heads a lot higher and a lot prouder, and obviously it gives them much needed income. So, it's a great model. It really works.
Yes, it definitely does. Now, tell me, for those who need the home care and the home assistance, how do you hear about them? Do they reach out to you?
We have various ways of referrals coming to us. A lot of it is, hang on, I'm going to get this stitch, come what may. Got him.
Great.
Oh, I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so obviously word of mouth. Our moms, a lot of them know each other, so we get a lot of word of mouth, but we get from Red Cross Hospital, from Tygerberg, from Karl Bremer, from various other MPOs who don't actually know how to cope with our type of children, who are all life-limited, life-threatened special needs children. Because we've got everything from cerebral palsy all the way up to autism and every syndrome you can think of in between. So we're quite a broad spectrum of children in our care. But the referrals come fast and furious. We don't have a waiting list. We refuse to go that route. So when we are contacted within 24 hours, one of our members, either of our social work team or our care team, will be there to see the child.
Wow. That is incredible. That is just amazing. I cannot imagine going anywhere at this point, anywhere in South Africa, to be honest, and not being on a waiting list, especially when you need the type of assistance that these parents need.
We find by the time a parent gets to Iris House, they've had so many doors closed in their faces and so many dead ends that they're finished, they're done. And for us to add to that and say, hey, well, stand in a queue, that would sort of defeat the object of Iris House. So, we make sure they're seen to within 24 hours. We also, and I maybe should have mentioned it at the beginning, but I'll mention it now, all of our services are free. So there's absolutely no barrier to entry. So it doesn't matter if you stay in a 15 million rand house or you stay in a informal settlement, you get exactly the same service from Iris House.
This is just phenomenal. What can people do? What can the public do to assist Iris House in any way?
We're always reaching out to the public. We do have some funding from the Western Cape government, but nowhere near what we need. And we are very open and honest about what our needs are. So they can go onto our website. There's a full needs list there. They're welcome to donate. Any financial assistance is always welcome. We don't stop growing. So, the gap between what we're funded from government and what we actually need to run just keeps doing this, which is fine because we keep filling it. And we even, during COVID, I was concerned at first, but the people in the Western Cape are incredible and they stepped up. And just through online fundraising, we raised the funds we needed to keep going. And I believe that will always be the case. If you deliver the right service at the right level, the people will support.
Yes, agreed. And to my point of earlier, just saying that it's the people of Cape Town that make it so amazing,
100%,
right? Adds to the
100%.
beauty of this amazing place. If people want to find out more about Iris House, where do they go?
Website's always the best. It's just iris-house.org. We currently have a nice give and gain page up as well for Mandela Day. And on there you again see our needs list, welcome to donate or take on a project at our hospice. You're welcome to come as well.
Yes.
We could do some more knitting if you like.
Oh, absolutely. That I can do pretty well.
I see that.
I want to come to the horses, actually.
Absolutely. Now, that I'm very comfortable doing far more than the knitting, but I'll share that one with you. And they're welcome to come in on Mandela Day or any day. We have an open gate policy. So just, pop us a call, make an appointment, come through. You're welcome. We want you to see what we're doing. We want you to show you around and for you to meet our amazing kids, who is the reason we're there in the first place.
Absolutely. Sue van der Linde, CEO and founder of Iris House. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you, Tracy. Thanks for the knitting.
The most music to make you feel great with Tracey Lange.
KFM 94.5.
KFM 94.5.